Very good evening to you. I'm Damien Best with Sports Night. Let's start with this one. West Indies A wicketkeeper Jamar Hamilton will captain the WICB Presidents 11 in a one-day game against touring England next Monday in St Kitts. Now, Hamilton toured Sri Lanka last October as part of the squad for the three-match four-day test series and has since been among the runs in the regional first-class championship. The 26-year-old Leeward Islands Hurricanes player will lead a side which includes test bowler Kemar Roach, West Indies A all-rounder Rakeem Cornwall, and prolific Windward Islands Volcanoes batsman Sunil Ambriss. Roach is on a comeback following injury and a loss in form, and the Bajan pacer was a key member of the title-winning Barbados Pride squad in a recently concluded regional Super 50, finishing with 12 wickets. The team also includes Barbadian batsman Kyle Hope of Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, all-rounder Kyle Mears of the Windward Islands Volcanoes, and another all-rounder Raymond Reefer of Guyana Jaguars. The Presidents 11 encounter against England, Cardiff for Warner Park, will serve as a warm-up for the tourists ahead of their three-match one-day international series against West Indies starting on March 3rd at the Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium. Well, it appears the regional Super 50 tournament may not be the only criteria for selection to the West Indies team. Now, some players who had excellent performances were left out of the 15-man training squad announced yesterday to face England in that three-match series here in the Caribbean. It's safe to say that opener Kieran Powell earned his place in the West Indies ODI team. He's the only new face in the squad which failed to make the final of the Tri-Nations Series last year in Zimbabwe. Powell scored 513 runs in 8 innings at an average of 87.99 and led the Leewards to a semi-final berth before they met the mighty Barbados team and were knocked out. I've got no issues with the batting lineup, but if we're going on the performances in the Super 50, then there are a few question marks. Shane Dowrich, playing purely as a batsman, couldn't make the team in the Tri-Nation Series in Zimbabwe and had limited batting time in the Super 50 for the Pride, despite playing all the matches. His top score was 40. Now, Sunil Ambriss of the Windwards, on the other hand, was in good nick. 6 half-centuries in 8 matches and 423 runs at an average of 70.50 is worth a look in. Suleiman Ben, third in the tournament table for top bowlers with 18 scalps and conceding just 184 runs at an economy rate of 2.83, gets dropped in favour of leg spinner Devendra Bishu. Bishu had a poor tournament by his standards, took 10 wickets in 7 matches and averaged 28.40. Now, if you're looking at having a leg spinning option, then why not Damian Jacobs of the Scorpions? 17 wickets in 9 matches. Then there's the fast bowlers, Miguel Cummins. Lots of potential, but 3 wickets in 4 matches in the Super 50 and replaced by the experienced Kemar Roach. Says a lot. Roach looked close to his best, 12 wickets in 7 outings and generating good pace. Another experienced West Indies player, Jerome Taylor, 16 wickets with his swing bowling and averaging 18.81 in the competition. Plenty food for thought. But I tell you what, all is not lost for the players previously mentioned. They have been included in the WICB Presidents 11 squad to take on England on Monday at Warner Park in St Kitts. That will be the perfect stage to prove the selectors wrong. Currently 9th in the one-day international standings, West Indies need to defeat England. Full stop. Well, it was all Blue House at the Dighton Griffith Secondary Sports Day today as they repeated as champions at the school grounds in Kingsland Christchurch. Blue retained the title with a total of 1,427 points. Green took second with 1,326.5. Third went to red with 1,206. And yellow finished fourth with 1,067.5 points. In the male category, Mario Best of yellow was the victor Ludor with 91 points. In the female section, Akiba Pollard of red took the victories with 98 points. CBC's Mark C reports on the 100 and 400 meters.
We head straight into the boys on the 15 100 meters, which looked as if it would be anybody's race in the first 40 meters. But Jalen Thornhill in lane 5 took a nasty fall which ruled him out, leaving Nathan Brathwaite of green to take first. Unfortunately, times weren't available up to our news time. Now we catch the girls under 17 100 meters, It was all Shantae Brooms of blue running in lane 4 for the win. Second went to Leah Ford of green, and her housemate, Rihanna Taylor, took third. The under-17 boys saw a slippery start for lane number 5, and there was no recovering, as Rashawn Jordan of red was off like a pop kite in a strong breeze, taking the gold, followed by Quinn Walters Hodge of red and Rodneyako Holder of green. To the big girls of the school, the under-20s, it wasn't the fastest of races, but Akiba Pollard of red surely made it hers, keeping enough momentum, and she's going to deny Bernal Dress of yellow, who followed closely behind to take second. Devisha Skeet of blue took third. On to the big boys for bragging rights, the fastest boy in the school, and that would be Mario Bess of yellow in lane 2 over to the right of your screen. He wanted it and he took it, giving a quick dab at the line as he took gold. Silver went to Tariq Innes of green, and his housemate Khalil Clement took bronze. A little birthday celebration as the first-year girls got ready for the 400 meters. Tia Edwards of green in lane 6, making up some early ground to catch Jaquila Bartlett out in lane number 8. Moving to the final meters of the race, there was no looking back for Edwards, as she comfortably finished first, followed by Kishonna Niles of blue and Justina Bishop of green. Now to the first-year boys, off to a moderate pace, apparently saving their energy in the first 100 meters, but it was a different story when the boys got into the final stretch, with McKeel Ford of red easing to victory, followed by Rashem Atherley of green and Shaylin Hinkson of yellow taking third. The under-15 girls 400 had a bit more pace. Denisha Moore of blue tearing up lane number 6, giving herself an early lead, a lead which she maintained throughout the rest of the race, finishing first. Rakayla Fagan of green was second, Shania Gill of blue third. Shifting now to the under-15 boys, Arian Miller of yellow in lane 8, distancing himself from the pack in the early stages, but fast forward to the final 100 meters, and it was a battle between Nathan Brathwaite of green in lane 2 and Malik Jones of blue in lane 6. Jones proved to have more in his tank as he took victory ahead of Brathwaite. Shabari Lynch was third. The 400 meters continued, and Chantel Bailey of blue in lane 8 was definitely not hanging around in the under-17 girls, as she had a huge lead early in the race. Bailey maintained that lead despite losing a bit of ground in the final meters, walking away with the win, followed by her housemate Shantae Brooms and Rihanna Taylor of green taking third. The under-17 boys got off to a similar start, with Antoine Granham in lane 8 injecting the NOS early, and there were no challengers in sight. But the final 100 meters saw the challenge he never anticipated from DeMar Clark of red. He pressed his NOS button at the right time and outran Granham to take the win in arguably the race of the day. Third went to Quinn Walters Hodge of red. Mark Seal, CBC Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Well, Blue House has done the three-peat at Graydon CV Sports for the third consecutive year. They've won that school's inter-house title. Competing at the National Stadium, Blue won with 951.5 points, followed by Green with 839.5. Way to go, Green. The others followed with Yellow, 449, Red, 443, White, 372, and Orange, 363 points. The Victor Ludorum was Kai Marley Krushank of Green with 71, while the Victrix Ludorum was Ariel Baird of Orange with 65 points. CBC's Anne-Marie Burt reports on the 400 meters.
Division 4 girls are up and running. One lap of the track they'll have to take. A look at Nikaya Ward of White House pulling away from the group, but Lachey Ali from Yellow House was trailing her. While Ward kept a good distance between them, Blue House's Ashaya Ellis took down Ali just on the 100-meter mark. And though the final 50 looked like a jog for the athletes, Ward managed to hold on for the top spot, while Ellis was closely behind in second and Ali in third. Division 4 boys are off the mark. Watch Akil Ellis of Yellow House pacing himself towards the lead as the group held tightly together, making their way to the final 100 meters. But Greenhouse's Kai Marley Krushak was determined, and he fought off Ellis, who tried his best to reach the finish line first, but Krushak beat him to it and took first, with Ellis sitting in second and Kishad Butcher of White House in third. This now is Division 3 girls. Akaya Glasgow set the early pace for Greenhouse, and then the pace of the others picked up. Watch Janisha Hall making moves through the pack for Red House, taking them down one by one. And she was challenged by White House's Shonia Griffith, but now Hall's only opponent was Glasgow. But it was too late for her to capture the top spot, as Glasgow won ahead of Hall and Griffith had to take third. Now it was clear from the start of the race who would win this Division 3 boys 400 meters. Lane 4 with Red House's Jeffrey Mapp was dominant, leading the way as a leader should, and he kept the gap wide. The focus will have to turn to second and third because this race belonged to Mapp, no questions asked. Dominic Bushell from Yellow House held off Greenhouse's Justin Giddens for second, so Giddens he had to take third. It's a turn of Division 2 girls. The bunch kept together heading toward the 200-meter mark, and it was then that Rihanna Clark of Blue House decided to pull away. So too did Christian Scotland of Green. And then on the final stretch home, Clark powered home for the win, with Scotland coming second and Unisha Grant from Orange in third. Division 2 boys now, and it was a battle between friends to see who would take the win. Davico Went Weeks, Daniel Harewood and Christopher Harewood fought for supremacy. And Went Weeks on his final 80 meters teased his challengers, begging them to push harder. And with that, Went Weeks took the win for red ahead of Christopher of blue and Daniel of white. The final girls 400 meters are on the line. Division 1. Only 4 athletes will contest this one. Watch Joylyn Blair set the pace for Blue House. With at least 300 meters to go, she had Elisa Proverbs of Yellow and Greenhouse's Shade Carrington on her heels. Then approaching the bend for the final 100 meters, Carrington pushed hard to take down Blair, and when she did, it was all the way from there. Strolling towards the finish, Carrington claimed the win, Blair was second and Proverbs third. Then it was the big Division 1 boys. Aki Barrow had nothing on his mind but to win. And at one stage he thought he had it in the bag. But one must remember that the race is not done until the end. Look at lane 4 with Greenhouse's Rashad Jackman in the white shorts coming off the bend, posting Barrow's biggest challenge. And then they met level before Jackman clinched the win, with Barrow in second and Kimar Charles taking third.